there are a few different options that are available to treat it. So prior to May of this year, many gas companies were doing some minimal on-site treatment and then sending the flowback water to municipal wastewater treatment plants. There are two types of wastewater treatment plants. There are municipal wastewater treatment plants and there are industrial wastewater treatment plants. They were sending it to municipal wastewater treatment plants, and there were questions that were raised about whether they had the technologies in place to adequately treat the water. There are issues because we don't, what's included in the flowback water is not necessarily public information. The water picks up other pollutants while it's underground. It picks up a lot of salts. These are things like bromides that can cause significant corrosion. It picks up a lot of salts because the Marcellus Shale is actually a salt formation. Back, if you look at the history of the geology, it was laid down back when we still had Pangea, and it has a high organic carbon component because it's a lot of dead fish, believe it or not. Anyway, so that flowback water comes back out, and it was getting sent to municipal wastewater treatment plants. Well, in May of this year, the governor and the secretary of the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection asked gas companies to stop sending flowback water to municipal wastewater treatment plants, and gas companies have complied. So the other options available are some type of on-site treatment. That flowback water comes back out, and you use some type of membrane technology. You get a structure that's developed by General Electric, you pump water into it, and that separates out very, very pure, almost drinking water quality water from a very, very highly concentrated brine. That concentrated brine is a waste, still has to be disposed of, but at least you can still capture some of that water and you can use it again. There are other options available too. There's a freeze-thaw cycle. When it's very cold, the salty water melts at a lower temperature than regular water. And it's a natural way to sort of separate out the two. If you can store the water on site, let it freeze, what you'll have left is that highly concentrated brine. You can collect that, and the remainder is something that you can use to refract the well. What do you do then with that highly concentrated brine that is left? Well, one of the options now in Pennsylvania is to send it to Ohio for injection in underground injection wells. These are wells that have been assessed. They have the geologic integrity, and you can insert that brine waste into it for permanent storage. You don't have much capacity to do that in Pennsylvania, and so you have to send it there. Another option is to do land application. So you actually let it dry, and then you sell what's left to a municipality that goes out and it spreads it as a road salt to melt ice during the winter. Now, you can ask questions about, well, what's the impact that has on surface water? Because aren't you just taking that brine, and doesn't it eventually make its way back down into the watershed? Well, if a municipality wants to buy that, and if a gas operator wants to sell to them, both entities have to develop an approval for road spreading plan. And this says that if you apply that salt, you won't apply it within a certain distance from water. You'll take other protections as necessary.